Today's video, I'm giving you guys the best updated Rise crossover starter guide. Before I go do that, would you guys like yourself a chance to win a free Game Pass? All you need to do is drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment your Roblox username down below. I go in multiple Game Passes every week. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get on with the video. I actually went ahead and made a starter guide for Rise crossover about a month or maybe even two ago, before this game had really blown up in any way. But since then, this game has had a lot, I mean a lot of updates. Literally, there is so many different updates that have just added genuinely like so much different content to the game. Like, I think it's only one of the very few I could show off. But basically, how the whole entire game works, it's changed a ton. So in this video, I'm gonna try and tell you guys the best tips that I can do. I've compiled a list of just all of them. I want to think these will be very useful to you no matter what part of the game you're in, but they'll be especially useful to you if you are a starter player. If you are, of course, very high end in the game, you'll still probably find a few of these useful, but maybe some not as much. Anyway, now let's go ahead and start off with the tips for this video. So we're going to start off with the first thing that I've mentioned in most of my recent videos, but it's because people are just missing out. You need to join a good guild. My guild is linked down below in the top thing in the description, but that's besides the point. If you want to join a good guild, and by the way, my guild in no way is like super good at the game or anything. This is just like probably a very average guild. You're already getting an extra shadow slot, more shadow range, a ton more shadow damage, and this is just going to help you out literally so much with its progressing through the game. Anyway, though, I don't want to talk about guild name too much because like we have mentioned it a lot of other videos, but this is kind of the starter guide. I'll try and make this maybe like a monthly or every month we'll do like a starter guide for the game. But joining a guild, at least at the current time of day, is one of the most helpful things you can do because it's going to help you out that much. Then the next thing to do, and we're going to kind of go in like a little more of a logical order, is to get a decent mount. And mounts are just really useful in the game. Now, these are not the most important things, but in the speed up to some of your other processes that I'll go over in this video. So it just will help you out by getting a decent mount. Now, you can get ground mounts, although you don't need them. If you want to get one, you get from the AFK area, top right hand corner of your screen. Click on AFK rewards, and then you just go to that. But we're not going to bother with that for this video. You can also then do the other option, which is the buying mounts. Every island has extra mounts on it. So the island, for example, the Leveling City, has the worst mounts, and then I think Face Hill has a decent one, and then there is an even better one at Lucky Kingdom, and it kind of goes on like that. I also believe you can just use the code Coffin if you are new to starting out in the game, or if you are progressed anyway, use the code Coffin if that still works. Yeah, I've already used that code. It'll give you a free boat, which will be useful just to traveling between different islands, because you don't want to be wasting your time swimming, and this boat's actually a pretty decent one. Now, it is nothing crazy, but like I'm being serious, you don't want to waste your time swimming in the game, because that's just going to take you like a lot of time. If we spawn the bow in there, where's the bow? Where's the bow? If I just press it one more time, you know what, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll spawn it in just like this. Anyway, now we've fixed our boat. I've probably got over the settings you use when you are traversing the islands in the game. These are the shadow settings I'd recommend using if you just want to see the coolness of the game. If you don't care about anything cool in the game and don't really care about your graphics in any way, turn off cutscenes, turn off shadows, turn off element effects. This means you will not lag, and it's just going to help you out a ton there. Then for the next set of things, I'd recommend this. If you do have the Game Passes for, we'll talk about Game Passes later in the video, do not worry. But I would go for something along the lines of this. You can turn the daylight cycle on if you want. These are the settings I use. Auto destroy, really handy. So there is basically auto destroy. What it does is something you're just going to find useful throughout the whole entire game. It's going to help you no matter what stage you're in. It just basically means if it's a unit you're not trying to rise, anything in the normal world and most dungeons probably, assuming you've already got the unit, auto destroy, you just click X on the one you don't want to keep anymore, and it basically means whenever you get the unit, it's just automatically going to be destroyed. And if you're in a dungeon, there's a chance you get powder dust from that, or in the normal game, you're just going ahead and get some extra gems. So hey, there's some cool stuff there. Next, I'm going to go over something that is back all the way in Leveling City, so we quickly just respawn there. Also, a really handy tip, if you want to go back to spawn really quick, you can just go ahead and press escape, press respawn, and then just make sure to set your spawn point in an area you want to respawn at. Leveling City is in the center, so I use that a lot. So you can use the Shadow Upgrader. Most people probably know about this in the game, but for the people that are new to the game and don't know about this, the Shadow Upgrader, what it does, it takes a shadow of each different rank. E rank, D rank, and C rank for everything other than bosses can be found in the normal world. Then you've got B rank, A rank, S, and S rank can be found in dungeons. You can also find S rank in the new Inferno tower. So that way you should get that, and you turn it into an SS rank, which will help you out in the game. But honestly, yeah, that's just an extra tip there to go ahead and add on. The next thing is, if you are curious about it, is Inferno Tower. Now, Inferno Tower is actually very late game. It is very much recommended when you're doing a decent amount of damage. It's gonna be kind of useless to you unless you're pretty much already like an S rank hunter, just because of how hard it is. If you're not sure how to get hunter rank, ranks basically up. It's very easy to do, and it's actually, honestly, a very big thing, which I feel like is very, the way I said it there, I felt like I glossed over it a bit in the video. But hunter ranks are really important. If you go to this building in Leveling City, and then you go all the way to the right, and again, I'm going to try and keep some of these quick so I don't like waste too much time, and it's why this video is like information packed as possible, so you can get all the information you need in the shortest time possible. But if you go to this ranked area right now, you can do basically tests, and these tests, trials, whatever you want to call them, it's a dungeon with 20 rooms in, you have 10 minutes to do it. If you manage to do it, you get an extra hunter rank. From ranks all the way to E and S, you get an extra 10% damage, and then from that point onwards, I think you actually get like a 40% damage, and you also get higher levels on your shadows, resulting in, I think, G rank, you get an extra 20 levels upon your max for shadows, so that helps out. It's also, if you're curious about just how leveling works in the game, different scalings of units have a level cap based on the rank they are. Units, if they are legendary, and I believe you actually can get some now epic units if you use the Inferno Tower up to G rank. So just to show you what this is, you have E rank, you have, then I'll show you the max damage, for example, for Zyro at E rank. You then have D rank, and I'll show you the max for D rank, and I'll show you guys the max damage for D rank, and this is just for me, by the way, so my stats feel a little different, and I'll mention how you can improve on that. But then you've also got then C rank, B rank, A rank, S rank, SS rank, you've got G rank, and you do have M rank if you are looking to get it. I can show you that in my inventory right now. But yeah, one of the big things that is boosting my damage is my heroes rank, which is the G rank there, and also being in a guild. That's how you get the higher damage of shadows. Just in case you're wondering, hey, I've got the exact same shadows you, Tito. Why am I not doing more damage than you? That's why, just so you guys understand there. Then, if you are trying to just progress to the game, I'm going to quickly respawn again to get outside this building, as it is just faster to respawn in the game. Anyway, then for the next part of the game, something you are going to find useful. Well, let's assume you're progressing through the areas. At the start of the game, the only thing you need to focus on is dungeons. Now, dungeons are all the way up to face seal. Now, after face seal, you're going to kind of change how you play the game a little bit. But all the way up to face seal. If you're not sure which one face seal is the number 1, 2, 3, 4th one down. It also changes logo fairly recently, but face seal is this one here. The actual order of islands goes, you have Leveling City, then you have Grass Village over there, you then have Brum, then you have face seal over there, then you have the Chainsaw Island, which has snuck its way in here. I have no clue why it's like that, but go to face seal, then go to the Chainsaw one, and then you have all the way down here, you've got Mori Town. That's just the order of how they go. You also may see the Ant King spawn in. The Ant King is kind of insignificant in the game now, as there's better ways to obtain them, such as from AFK rewards, or just better things to obtain in the game, such as when you are advancing through the rest of the games after you have went ahead and made your way all the way over to face heals. That means you have a decent damage team. You're probably looking at having multiple SS units ready if you are into a face heal. You don't actually need to worry too much about the face heal boss. You can actually go for other units, and how you're going to do this is you're going to start investing into getting some cash, especially when you're out of face heal. Face heal, in my opinion, is where cash becomes slightly useful, as cash can be used to buy weapons. Now, like I said, this is only the very beginning where it's useful, and yeah, cash isn't too crazy. I also did realize that I did miscode there for some reason, so just go over the list again. It's Leveling City, then it's Grass Village, then it's Brum, then it's at the one I'm at now, which is face heal, then it is the Chainsaw area, then you've got wait, no, I missed it. Then you've got Clover, then you've got the Chainsaw area, then you've got Mori Town over there. But anyway, as I was back on the point, sorry, I'm getting myself confused. I'm trying to get as much facts in this video as possible. You can go and buy weapons. Now, these weapons aren't too crazy. They do a decent amount of damage. And same with the weapons you can on other areas, such as the best weapons that you can get just from getting cash in the game, which honestly isn't too hard to do. It may take a little bit of time to grind, but the best weapons can be found all the way over on Mori Town, which is over here, which is the final island of the game. So basically dungeons all the way up to you've got the SS rank units, and you're in face seal. Then after that, you want to be, so that would be mainly the merge machine will be your best friend, and S rank, and maybe even SS rank dungeons. Then you want to go to Leveling City and either do the portal that appear there, which is the Inferno Tower. You can also do the Ant King. I really recommend that. I think Inferno Tower is probably the best way to grind, or a dungeon in the area that you like. Anyway, you'll find the NPCs over on these islands, such as this is probably the best one to show on. You'll take out the NPCs. If you just leave it there for a few seconds, your team may be stronger, maybe weaker than my team. You just need to be a decent amount. You can be one of these NPCs, or at least get credit for taking out one of these NPCs, so you can get the money from it. With your cash, you can then use your cash to go all the way over to the weapon shop, and you can buy a decent weapon. Now, this is basically how you actually approach the game, is by buying this thing called the Reaper Scythe. And then when you go back to Leveling City, which, like I said, just always for Leveling City to spawn, unless you know you're grinding in an area, or a dungeon has spawned in an area, you can use enchants to make your weapon a bazillion times stronger. So, for example, if I compare the different weapons, such as this B rank, with a no enchant, compared to this B rank. You know, if we actually just roll an enchant on this, and wait till we get sharpness so I can show you guys. I'm burning away a lot here. That does now 460 trillion compared to the one without an enchant, which only does 112 trillion. I also do want to cover game passes in this video, so go to shop, use game passes that I really recommend buying if you are new to the game. So this is if you are the new player to the game, is you want to be looking at game passes such as auto attack and extra equip. They're ones I would definitely recommend going for. You can also give 2 times XP, it's more of a luxury item. Then, if you're going ahead and you're progressing through the game, 2 times cash. This will not be useful to you until you've done face heal, but 2 times cash will be a very, very useful thing to obtain. You can also use things such as runes to help you out in dungeons. They will just speed up your progress a bit. You can turn a dungeon into a certain theme you want. If you want a certain boss using the merging machine, this is for all ranks, all players. You want to use rank up runes, there's rank down runes. Kind of self-explanatory, they make things stronger, make things weaker. You can get runes from beating B rank or above dungeons, or you can get them from the building over here. If I quickly actually make my way over to it, we'll go into build and I'll show you a quick route you can use to obtain some of these from the game. So runes are just over here, and you can see that you get them there. Honestly, quite expensive, so I wouldn't recommend doing it a turn. You can also, on the shop right next to it, you can get things from the exchange shop, where basically the main use of the exchange shop is if you want to convert the powder dust into other things. So I use it for the most. You want to get rare powder dust, you want to get rare powder dust, you know, get rare powder dust using comp powder dust, or if you want to obtain comp powder dust, you turn 1 rare powder dust into it, or use legendary powder dust from 10 rares. Anything here is very self-explanatory, and I'm just going to gloss over this because, yeah, that's how you get to it. But the best way to get powder dust is doing the Inferno Tower. I don't have any clips of the Inferno Tower, but it spawns at 45 it spawns once every hour. So you just do it, it'll be there for like 5 minutes, but you can enter it, and it can take you an hour depending on how good you're doing at the thing. You an extra minute per wave, but that is something that's more for like high level players, so don't worry about it too much if you are a newer player in the game. Just to go over everything, I definitely have probably missed some things in this video, but I'll try to ram everything I can. It's probably sounding a bit waffling. I will maybe future I do a guide video like this. I'll make it a little bit more of an informative script, so I feel like I have jumped a bit between higher and lower end of games. So I will make sure for future videos I do have a script. Another thing you can also use as well, though, is potions. Potions, I wouldn't really recommend spending any things with them, but if you're very rich and you do want to get potions, you can use them here. The currencies, you get potions as tickets. You get them just from being bosses. You must get tons of them in the Inferno Tower if you can grind that. Anyway, though, guys, thank you for watching the video. I'm sorry if this video has been confusing to you at any point. I will definitely, like I said, future videos, I'll probably try and make it a little bit more organized information, but I've jam-packed this video with probably more information than there is any video on a Rise crossover out there. So I'm sorry if I missed anything. If I have, please let me know in the comments, and I'll either make a follow-up video including it, or just open in the comments down below. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to check out some other videos. Anyway, see you in the next one. Bye!